Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to what's happening around the Chicago Bears lately, you know that this team is not just sitting still. They've been working tirelessly in the offseason, trying to build a roster that can not only contend in 2024, but set the stage for a serious push towards the playoffs and maybe even a deep run in the Super Bowl. And a big part of that effort has been surrounding Caleb Williams. Yes, the rookie sensation that many believe could be the franchise quarterback they've been desperately searching for, with weapons that can help him thrive right from the start. But here's the thing. The Bears aren't just sitting back and waiting to see what happens. No, they've been actively exploring ways to improve their skill positions, especially in the backfield. They know that a balanced offense is key, and that's where the latest rumors and proposals come into play. Recently, ESPN's Seth Walder threw out a pretty intriguing trade idea that's got fans talking, a three-team deal involving the Bears, the Los Angeles Chargers, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I know what you're thinking, three-team trades aren't exactly common, but in the NFL, they happen when teams see an opportunity to boost their rosters without giving up too much. In this proposed deal, the Bears would ship out running back DeAndre Swift, along with a couple of late-round draft picks, specifically a 5th and a 6th rounder. And in exchange, they'd land Rachaad White from Tampa Bay, as well as a 7th-round pick from the Chargers in 2027. It's an interesting proposal, and it's worth analyzing whether it makes sense for Chicago or not. Let's start with Swift. The Bears acquired him last offseason with high expectations, especially after his breakout years with the Philadelphia Eagles, where he even made the Pro Bowl in 2023. Swift is a dynamic player, someone with the ability to break off big runs and contribute as a receiver out of the backfield. Last season, he showed flashes of that potential, and many believed that with a better offensive line and a more defined role, he could be a key piece for Chicago's offense. But here's where it gets complicated. Swift still has 2 years remaining on his contract, which was worth $24 million over 3 years. That's not pocket change, especially for a team that's trying to stay flexible financially. Now, the idea of trading him might seem a bit counterintuitive at first. After all, why move a talented player who's still young and has proven he can be productive? Well, according to Walder's analysis, the main reason could be a strategic move by the Bears to shed salary and free up cap space, while also trying to address other areas of need. And that's where Rachaad White comes into the picture. White has been in Tampa Bay for 3 seasons now, and while his yards per carry, just 3.8, might not jump off the page, he actually was more efficient than Swift in 2024, averaging 4.3 yards per attempt. That's a small detail, but in the NFL, efficiency matters a lot, especially in a system that values consistency and effective yardage. So, why would the Bears prefer White over Swift? Walder suggests that White fits better into the offensive scheme envisioned by offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. White's running style and skill set might align more with the kind of attack the Bears want to establish, especially with Caleb Williams leading the charge. Plus, trading Swift could be viewed as a salary dump, which would help the Bears manage their cap situation better, especially if they're planning to make other moves in free agency or the draft. But here's the thing, should the Bears really pull the trigger on this trade? That's the crucial question. On the surface, it might seem like a smart move to get rid of Swift, especially if they believe White can be a better fit. However, in reality, holding on to Swift and giving him a full season in 2025 could be a better strategy. After all, he's still young, and with the improvements made along the offensive line, which has been a concern in recent years, Swift could potentially recapture the form that made him a Pro Bowler. Plus, having a versatile back like Swift gives the Bears more options, especially in a league that's increasingly favoring dynamic, multi-dimensional running games. Let's also consider the bigger picture. The Bears, under head coach Matt Eberflus and offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, have been building a system that prioritizes speed, versatility, and explosive plays. The addition of Caleb Williams already adds a big splash of excitement and potential to the offense, but the supporting cast around him is crucial. Whether it's Swift or White, the focus should be on players who can create mismatches and keep defenses guessing. And don't forget, the Bears have been doing a lot of work in the draft and free agency to build around Williams. They've been scouting aggressively, looking for players who can complement their young quarterback and make the offense more unpredictable. The offensive line has been a point of emphasis, and they've made some solid additions there, but the running game is still an area where they're trying to find the right mix. This potential trade proposal, whether it happens or not, highlights the Bears' mindset. They're not afraid to shake things up if it means upgrading their roster in the right way. But at the same time, they have to weigh the short-term gains versus long-term stability. Moving Swift now might give them some immediate relief in cap space, but it could also mean losing a player who, under better circumstances, could become a key contributor again. And speaking of the division, this kind of move could have ripple effects across the NFC North. If the Bears do improve their skill positions with players like White, it could make their offense even more dangerous. That in turn puts pressure on teams like the Green Bay Packers and Minnesota Vikings, who are also reshaping their rosters. The NFC North is becoming more competitive, more unpredictable, and every move the Bears make could tip the scales in their favor or cost them a crucial edge. Now, we also have to consider the broader context of the NFL landscape. The league is evolving rapidly, with teams prioritizing versatility and speed. The Bears are clearly trying to position themselves as a team that can adapt and compete at a high level, especially with Caleb Williams as their franchise quarterback of the future. They're investing in offensive talent, trying to build a balanced attack that can keep defenses on their heels. And it's not just about adding players. It's about making smart moves, about understanding the nuances of NFL roster management. Sometimes, parting ways with a player like Swift might be necessary to free up resources for other key signings or draft picks. But it's a delicate balancing act. The Bears have already made significant strides toward becoming a playoff team, and adding a player like White could be the final piece to their puzzle or just another strategic move to consider down the line. But let's get real for a moment. Whether they go through with this trade or not, it's clear that the Bears are committed to building a dynamic, explosive offense around Caleb Williams. They're not just trying to be competitive, they're aiming for excellence, for a deep playoff run, and maybe even a shot at the Super Bowl. Every decision they make now is about setting that foundation, about creating a team that can not only win games but also adapt to what the NFL throws at them. In the end, the decision to trade Swift or not will depend on many factors: cap considerations, player development, scheme fit, and the team's long-term vision. But what's undeniable is that the Bears are actively exploring ways to elevate their roster, and that kind of proactive mindset is exactly what fans want to see. They're not settling, they're looking for every possible edge, every opportunity to get better. So, as we follow this story, keep in mind that the Chicago Bears are a team on the rise. They're building something special, and every move, big or small, is part of that journey. Whether it's adding a new running back, drafting a star, or fine-tuning their offensive system, the Bears are showing that they're serious about competing at the highest level. And if they pull off a move like this proposed trade, it could just be another step toward their ultimate goal, returning to NFL prominence and hoisting that elusive Lombardi trophy once again. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this possible trade? Do you think the Bears should go all in and make a move to bring in Rachaad White, or do you believe they should stick with Swift and see how he performs with a healthier offensive line in 2025? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news.